Welcome to Intuitive Flow, hosted by me, Mikaela Wallet, an intuitive who uses neuroscience to reprogram your subconscious and trained intuition to get to the root cause of your problems to help you create a life that you don't need a vacation from. You've landed in the place you need to be to hear the no bullshit truth about why you keep repeating the same love and money patterns and how to finally break them. This podcast is here to wake you up. It's time to stop living as the watered down version of yourself and step unapologetically into the woman you came here to be. The woman who trusts herself deeply, holds powerful standards, and naturally attracts the love, money, and life she desires. Let's flow. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Wallet. In today's episode, we are getting into how hyperindependence is totally fucking your dating life. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of women, especially wear their hyper independence or their independence as like this badge of honor. But to be completely honest, it's just putting you more in your masculine energy, and it's not setting you up for success when it comes to manifesting a healthy masculine love into your life. Let me give you a very clear and clean example of this. I used to be this person. I used to praise myself on constantly doing everything on my own. Like I wore that shit like a badge of honor. I always was saying, I don't need no man and that I got it and don't worry about me. Because why? Because I grew up thinking and believing and being told that I needed to be the good little girl. I needed to stay out of the way, not make a whole lot of trouble, just take care of myself. I've been working since I was 14 years old, so it's just like, it's just something that you adapt. And honestly, people probably have celebrated you in the past for being independent. Like, oh my God, she's so independent. Like, that's so amazing. And you know what? Independence definitely has its time, right? Like, but there's a difference between independence and being independent and holding your independence in a relationship versus being hyper independent. Okay. And this toxic hyper independence is not serving you. It is actually just pushing away the healthy masculine love that you are actually searching for. So if this is something that you are already relating to, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to open yourself up to receiving and to heal the part of you that maybe just doesn't trust people enough to embody that feminine receiving energy that you honestly deep down are desiring to embody. Because healing isn't becoming more independent. It's almost like you put this wall up because maybe in your past, when you have let people in, you have let people help you, you have let people show up for you, you've been let down. And if you get let down enough times, eventually you're going to have a wall up around your heart and you're going to be closed off. And obviously, the more closed off you are, the less open you are to attracting the healthy masculine love that you are desiring to create for yourself. But that's not all that it's fucking up, like it's not just your dating life. It's having a ripple effect in multiple areas of your life. And one of those, which I'm sure you value, is your financial area of life. Why? Well, because if you are not in a receiving energy, if you are closed off to getting help, then you are telling the universe, no, it's okay. I've got this. I don't need your help. And so there you are stuck in your toxic cycle of hyper independence, saying, I've got this, even though the universe is sending you thing and person and opportunity after opportunity for you to get help, but you are so closed off that you're not seeing those opportunities. You're not seeing those things. You're not taking those gifts from the universe, from higher self, from source, right? And when you are closed off like that, like I said, you're closing off the amount of money that you make, the opportunities that you have available to you. and are given to you. And it's just this thing that we just don't want, right? We want to be open. We want to be accepting. We want to be in our receiving energy so that we can create abundance and overflow and ease, right? Like you want to start asking yourself, instead of what can I do? It's how can I, like, what would it look like if this was easy? What would it look like if I could make my life easier? If life was easier, what would that look like for me? What could I get help doing? Maybe it's delegating. Maybe you own a business and maybe it's hiring out, things that you don't need to be doing anymore, right? Maybe it's hiring a VA. Maybe it's getting help with creating a website because you don't know how to actually do that. That's not actually your expertise. It doesn't light you up. So you only want to be doing things that light you up. So whatever you're doing that's not lighting you up, you want to delegate. Maybe it is getting help and not deflecting it, not saying, oh no, like I could never do that. I can never take that from you. If you are being offered help, the last thing that you want to do is say no out of what, guilt and shame or pride or ego. Like just accept the help and move on. Like even, it doesn't mean anything about you. Even the littlest things of like when you go out to get coffee with a friend and they offer to pay. Absolutely. Thank you. That's it. That's all you have to say is thank you. It obviously made them feel good to provide you that coffee. It's serving them. It's an equal energetic exchange. They feel good about it. They wouldn't have offered it if they didn't feel good about it, if it didn't make them feel good in one way or another, right? So offering that simple gesture and saying thank you and then not being like, oh, I'll get the next one, just there's no reason for you to think that you need to give anything in return, because you just accepting is enough. You just existing is enough. You are enough, okay? So it's the little things. And I want you to start to become more aware of where you might be doing this, where you might be maybe deflecting a compliment. Maybe you get compliments all the time and you're constantly like, oh no, like imagine, somebody compliments me on my sweater. And instead of saying, thank you, I say, oh, I actually hate the color of this. Like, I don't even know why I put it on today. I'm deflecting the compliment. Or if somebody says, I really like your hair, and you're like, oh God, it's like, 3 days in, I need to wash it. It's so dirty. You're deflecting. Just accept the compliment. Say thank you. Move on. So it's little things like that. I want you to be aware of where you might be deflecting, where you might be like closed off in accepting help when it is being offered and the universe is helping you and just trying to help you get to where you want to go, but you keep on maybe pushing that help away out of pride or your ego or, conditioning that was never even yours to begin with. So it's time to take that hyper independence off. You don't need to wear that badge anymore. And ask yourself, what would life look like if it was easy? What would have to happen? What would I have to accept? What could I receive in my life to be easy? And are there opportunities in my life right now that I could take action on to make myself feel better about accepting that help? So I don't have to be so independent and I don't have to do everything by myself. All right, I have to interrupt this episode to chat with you guys about my new offer, Devoted. You are done being the almost girl. Almost chosen, almost confident, almost happy. You've journaled, manifested, healed, but somehow you keep ending up in the same cycles of almost relationships, almost money, and almost self-love. This is your turning point. A season of raising your standards, choosing yourself first, and finally stepping into the identity you've been scripting about for years. Whether you're stuck in situationships, coming out of a breakup, or recovering from divorce, Devoted is the place where you stop settling and finally start living as the woman who has it all. The truth, it was never about them. The men, the money, the opportunities that never quite landed, they were all reflections of how you'd been abandoning yourself. And when you finally choose you, everything else rises to meet you. Devoted. 13 weeks devoted to embodying the hot, rich, and in love version of yourself. You'll heal your self-image, master your emotions, trust your intuition, and become the woman who is hot, rich, and fully in love with her life. You'll stop chasing love, money, or validation and start magnetizing it. Imagine waking up 90 days from now. You wake up next to a man who chooses you fully, plans the weekend, and shows up without you begging. You open your bank app and see $20,347 in savings, bills on autopay, and invoices paid with ease. You catch your reflection in jeans you once hated, actually love what you see, and think to yourself, damn, my ex really fucked up. You walk into dinner and the room shifts, people notice, ask what changed, and can feel your energy. You feel steady in love, confident in money, and free in how you spend your time. You realize the version of you who settled for crumbs is gone. Nothing beneath your standards even gets close. You make decisions with certainty because you trust yourself completely. That is the energy of a devoted woman. If you are ready to stop settling and finally live as the woman who has it all, join Devoted. The link is in the show notes below. This is your time to bloom. All right, let's get back into today's episode. This whole era of, I don't need no man, it became this armor because of your past traumatic experiences. Healing those traumatic experiences, not forgetting, but forgiving, not just them, but also yourself, is huge in the process of you actually manifesting and creating the opportunity for you to meet the man of your fucking dreams, for you to create the life of your dreams. Because when you're holding on to traumatic shit, when you've got things that have happened for you, but you're not seeing that it's happened for you, and you're letting those things, those experiences, those situations affect the way that you move through life right now, they still have power over you. They still have fucking power over you. And let me tell you something right now. Don't you think that maybe they've already taken enough from you? So like, take your power back, forgive, sever the energetic ties, move forward, heal through the trauma, let it go, and move through life with a different energy, with an open heart. Take that fucking badge of armor off, that badge of I don't need a man off, that hyper independence, take it off. Take the armor away from your heart. Bring down that wall. It will be the best thing that you could do. Because let me tell you something, if I wasn't to have done this, what happens is I was dating, I was dating, and I would be on these dates and I would just be trauma dumping. It was really embarrassing to think about and to look back on. But I was just like, oh, well, and it was almost like I was doing it because I was making it seem like nothing that the person I was on the date with, nothing that they did or do in the future could hurt me because I had already been through enough. Like, I've already been through so much that nothing that you do is going to hurt me because, like, I've already been through it all. Like, there's nothing that nothing you could do. And then I would just be talking the whole time about my fucking trauma. And this guy would probably, on the other end, probably thinking, Jesus Christ, she's got a lot of baggage. Like, and no, that's not good for you. It's not good for them. It's not fair to them either because you are moving through that relationship with a wall up. They're having to bring down a wall that wasn't even theirs to bring down in the first place. And I think that was like the biggest difference from when like I was dating Bryson and dating anybody else in my past was we first started dating, I wasn't like trauma dumping on him. I wasn't making him jump through hoops that he shouldn't have had to jump through because of, maybe he felt like if let's say it didn't heal, he probably would have felt like he was walking on eggshells because anything could have triggered me, because that's what happens. If you don't heal from past situations or relationships or experiences that were traumatic for you, the new person coming in could very easily feel like anything could set you off. And it's not fair to them. And I know this because it's happened to me. And it wasn't until I healed that I was able to just open up in so many different ways that I never had before since the traumatic events had happened, right? And I just can't recommend it enough. So we're going to release our hyper independence. We're going to heal from our trauma. We're going to stop saying that I don't need a man when deep down women, like, I know you, if you are listening to this, if you turned this on, you want to be loved. You want to be in a healthy relationship with a masculine man who calms you, chooses you, doesn't leave. And that's that. But in order for you to obtain that, to manifest, to create that in your life, there's going to be some things that you have to do for yourself on the inside. And even if maybe you did find your man and you hadn't healed, you owe it to that man to heal, to become the best version of yourself. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing inside of Devoted. I have just launched another round of Devoted. It's 13 weeks devoted to becoming the hot, rich, and in love version of yourself. It is now open for enrollment, and all of the details are going to be in the show notes for you below. And I feel like I haven't even had like a chance to just yap with you guys and give you some life updates. So we're going to be doing that maybe the next episode, maybe the episode after that. But we are just going to like sit down and have a little Q&A situation where I just fill you in on all of the things in Mikaela's life, because I haven't been able to even like share how the wedding was with you. I haven't shared about the honeymoon. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know this, but if you don't, I'm pregnant, which is so insane. We must have gotten pregnant on our honeymoon. And it's super exciting, and we're excited, but I would love to tell you all about it and everything I'm experiencing and the reflections I'm experiencing and what I'm doing to shift those reflections and all of the things. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the DMs on Instagram at Mikaela_Wallet_. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me that you want answered on the pod, then ask me in the Instagram chat, okay? Okay. I love you. I'm so grateful that you're here. And as always, we will chat soon. If you love this episode, make sure you follow Intuitive Flow so you don't miss the next conversation. And if you're loving the show, leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps more women find this podcast and finally break the cycles they've been feeling stuck in. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Mikaela_Wallet_. And if you're ready to go deeper into rebuilding your self-trust, raising your standards, and cleaning up your energetic hygiene, check the show notes for ways to work with me below. And remember, the life you want is not out of reach. You just need to become the woman who can hold it. Until next time, keep flowing.